Okay. So I have no idea what's going on. It says that it is streaming data to the internet,
Okay.
and I am not sure who is seeing what yet.
All right. Well, I refreshed your homepage. Where would I even know if you're live? On either one of these.
So on YouTube, maybe you got a
Wait.
notification or something that I'm live?
Wait.
Question mark?
Hold on. Okay. I got you. I got you on Facebook.
Oh, okay. So the Facebook part is working,
Okay.
possibly.
It might be that the YouTube part is working, but I don't know where.
Okay, so actually I see that I'm live on YouTube, but I'm unlisted on YouTube. That's why. All right, here we go. My bad. So I just set this thing to live public on YouTube. So, oh, okay. So I just heard some feedback there.
No, that was me going to your channel page.
Okay. So now I think that
Because I've got you muted on Facebook.
okay. So I don't know who's in here yet, but
Top right, all we're seeing is a white box.
okay. So that's the YouTube chat.
Okay, and I'm still not able to see. I'm gonna just open in another tab. I'm just gonna search for Tidal Gardens again.
Okay. Now you did see something on Facebook that was live.
Facebook is live right now. I'm watching you right now.
Okay.
It was in your feed.
Okay. It's in my feed. Because I don't see myself live.
Okay, so I found you on YouTube. That was a hassle. Okay, I got you both.
Interesting. Okay. So so Facebook's like, what do you call it? Not infrastructure, but their navigation and whatever.
Oh,
I
muted you on both.
Okay. So I don't even know like what the deal is as far as like how to go about seeing myself on YouTube Live.
You mean you want to see what I see?
Yeah, because here's what I want to do. I want to screen grab the chat if there is live chat going on.
Yeah, so just go to your page.
Okay. I'm on my page.
I'm going to do it again in another browser. Hold on.
I'm so like Facebook illiterate. Maybe I go to videos, question mark. Oh, okay. You know what? I clicked on videos and there I am. Okay. Now I see that.
For the rest of people, in case you want to tell them what to do, first of all, on the left side next to videos, it already says live.
Oh, okay. Because I don't actually see that. That's interesting.
And then if you scroll down to the posts section, it's actually there. It's embedded as an event. It's like a post.
Yeah, I see that now.
And then I just clicked on that, and that was it. That's the video.
Okay. And now I think I see something. Watch. Okay, so all right. I'm gonna quickly grab a portion of this screen that's like the Facebook stuff and see how that goes. So one sec, guys.
What did you put in there right now? Those are YouTube comments?
Correct. So that's like the YouTube chat.
But I see different YouTube chats. Oh no, I'm on Facebook. Yeah.
See how confusing this is?
Yeah.
So, okay, hold on. Let me see how I can do this.
No, that's perfect.
Let me see how I can do. So, okay, so on YouTube, Decanthus Reef, I am testing a live simultaneous broadcast to YouTube and Facebook. So I'm gonna try to like real quick get the screens of both of at least the chat of both YouTube and Facebook simultaneously. So right now, what that white square is, that's the YouTube part, and I think I know how to do the Facebook thing, but I'm like at the same time also trying a couple things out here. Okay. Let's see how this goes. Okay. Hopefully you can all still hear me because I did something.
So I don't know because
Still here? Okay. Sorry about that. Okay.
But here, I'm going to turn, I could hear you just fine over here, but I'm turning you on my computer.
Okay.
Hold on.
I need another layer is what this is.
Oh, you just disappeared for a second.
Yeah, that's a total screw up on my part.
Okay.
All right, here we go. I'm going to do a couple of things differently. Audio capture, Scarlet, add. Okay, so hopefully, ooh boy, let me fix that. So the audio is going to get real weird. Sorry about that, guys. Window.
The audio sound.
Audio mixer.
I'm going to mute you again on my computer.
Okay.
Dan, I'm going to be right back.
Okay. So the person that I'm talking to is he's a friend of mine that does like a tech channel. That's kind of like why we're going through this tech stuff right now. So hopefully so the sound should sound better now. I had to fix something real quick. Okay, so then I'm gonna move this up here. Okay, then I'm going to do a quick screen capture, new screen capture. Let's fix this. Okay, we're gonna grab a window, configure Safari, Title Gardens, okie doke. All right, so
I'm back in the room.
Okay, I can hear you.
Still missing a whole bunch of my stuff. It's actually looking for my AirPods. Which I swear I just had right here.
Okay, so let me see if I can do something right here.
Because I was trying to get my conversation with you off of speakerphone.
So many technicalities. Okay, so on screen should be both Facebook and YouTube now.
Yes.
So I don't know if it's like, so I don't know how many people are watching on Facebook currently, but because like so far I only see like a few of the comments. So thanks so much, Simon Stone and Kenneth Callistrup. Okay, love your video. Oh, dude, oh, weird. How weird. Okay. Hey, I should not have done that. I think I kind of messed that up a little bit. So let me see if I can fix that.
Okay, I'm just walking around, but I have you with me. That is so crazy.
Okay.
When I was running looking for the laptop, I must have put my headphones down somewhere.
So Zakeel Gordon, hey Than, didn't know you sold clams. Well, I kind of don't. We don't keep clams all that well here. So a lot of the clam footage that you're seeing in the background, I just threw up some like really old like B-roll type stuff just to toss into the background there. We used to keep some clams, but the way that we did a lot of maintenance involved a lot of dipping and stuff, and I have a feeling that a lot of the dips that we use for corals are very, very toxic to clams. And even when you rinse the corals, some of that residue still makes it onto the clams, and over time, I think we were poisoning them. So let's see. Hello, hello, hello. So what's the topic? There really isn't a topic. So I wanted to see what it would look like to go live on 2 platforms at the same time. So partly because, some people just simply use Facebook and not really do anything on the YouTube end of the thing. And some people use YouTube exclusively, nothing on Facebook. So I was thinking about just kind of incorporating both populations, I guess. And I wanted to have both groups of people to be able to interact also through the same, not through the same chat, but at least on screen see what the other platform is typing. So on screen currently, you should be able to see both the YouTube and the Facebook chat. And the reason probably why you haven't seen this before is because Facebook does not want you to do this. Like, there's a feature in my broadcasting software. So theoretically, if I have the bandwidth to keep on uploading, both streams simultaneously, that you can just do that. You can select different broadcast servers like Twitch and everything like that as well. But Facebook doesn't want to play ball. So Facebook's disabled that automated thing. So if you use like the YouTube presets to broadcast to YouTube, but then you try to also do another broadcast to Facebook using the presets, it does not work. So like Facebook will kill its portion. But there's like a way to kind of like jerry rig it so that you're using the Facebook one, but you're making up from scratch the YouTube one. So it's not technically YouTube. You're just sending it out to like a blank server sort of thing. And that way you kind of fool the Facebook one that the Facebook one does not know that you're broadcasting to YouTube anymore. Hopefully I said that right. So that's kind of what I'm doing here. Like usually when I broadcast to YouTube, there's like a YouTube preset. It's like, oh, we found your channel. Do you want to broadcast to this event? I'm like, yes, I'd love to. But with also doing it with Facebook, it won't let me use that preset. So, okay, so Decantus Reef says I have the both running. Facebook seems faster. Okay, all right.
Well, Facebook has less of a delay.
Okay, interesting. Less of a delay, so it's just ahead in time?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, but the quality is actually, for me, better on YouTube. But let me see what it's playing at, because Facebook only goes to 720.
Interesting. Okay, because I'm actually sending Facebook 1080, I believe.
Yeah, so on YouTube, I'm watching you at 1080-60.
Okay.
Facebook, 720. I mean, technically, auto is the highest. Like, it goes up to 720, but it is playing it at.
Okay.
When it's set to auto, it's playing it at 720.
Yeah, I don't know if you guys in chat, if you can hear the other person. That's my friend Sagi. He has a channel called Tech Gear Talk, and yeah, we're learning the whole broadcasting stuff together over time here. So if you want to check out any kind of like tech related things, definitely check out his channel. So he's helping me just like troubleshoot and test this stuff in the background as well. So guided by echoes, won't they take up a lot of screen real estate? It does seem to. So obviously you can see it like right behind, and you can see what we're seeing. It's not that bad, I don't think. I don't think it's too terribly bad. So real quick,
terribly bad?
I don't think it's terribly bad.
The footage on Facebook?
Well, just the screen real estate in general.
Oh.
It's not terrible.
No.
I mean, I guess I could scooch this over just a little bit.
there's a lot of comments, but
yeah. So I scooched it all over just a little bit. Oh, by the way, this is my cat Piper. She is very mean. Your cat's voice is a little different. Just wait till the other cat makes her way over here and they start fighting. Then you'll see. Then you'll see something about cats' voices. No, she's a very, very, very big, mean, fat cat. Let's see. So there's a good 30 seconds between posting a comment and it popping up on your feed.
Yeah.
If so, I think that through Wirecast there is an automatic like 20 to 30-second delay to YouTube, but I don't know if that's true to Facebook. So Facebook, it would not surprise me if Facebook does not have a delay at all. And
no, it does. It's just slight.
It's just slight.
It's. I mean, I can. We'll test it in a second. I'm not there right now. I'm gonna walk back to the computer. I'll just say something and we can check to see how long it takes for it to actually show up.
Show up on both of them. Okay, cool. So let's see. I just want to like say the highs and hellos real fast. Somebody said hi, Piper.
Hi, Piper.
And Frank Aquino, hi, hello.
Ben said he got the price list for the corals.
Okay, I appreciate that. So the other thing that I wanted to try to do, and this is slightly different as well. Tomorrow, I want to do a smaller scale live sale, kind of like if on the YouTube side of things, we were always doing like the big monthly live show to sell corals. One of the complaints of that was that it's a 3-hour show, and not everybody can stick around through the entire 3 hours. Maybe they were looking only for like, they were only looking for. So that's my mom. That's not Piper. So they were only looking for like mushrooms, or they're only looking for SPS, or they're only looking for LPS. So what I was thinking was to just do like a much smaller live show for limited types of corals. So the first one that we were thinking of was to do like an SPS live show. And the format would be changed slightly, but it would be this sort of demonstration where it's like you'd have like the coral in the background, maybe not like 250 for sale, maybe between 50 to 100 over the course of like an hour to an hour and a half. So that's kind of what I was thinking. And maybe do that like more frequently. So what we could do is like one weekend do an SPS limited live show. Next one, maybe do a soft corals and polyps. Week after that, we could do the LPS show, and that would be broadcasted on both Facebook and on YouTube. And then at the very end of the month, because typically our big live show is at the end of the month, we will do the entire gamut, the big 250 coral show. And that will be, well, I suppose we could try to do it on both YouTube and Facebook. Historically, we've always just done it on just YouTube. But yeah, so that's kind of what we were thinking. So I'm just going to go ahead and say like maybe tomorrow. What time shall we do that? Maybe tomorrow at... Let's bank on tomorrow at 5 o'clock Eastern. And I'll make an event. Live show 5 p.m. Eastern time. So it's a little bit later in the afternoon than.
Hey.
Yeah, what's up?
Is there a way to make an event on Facebook?
There is, and I'll do that after we just get done like chatting and testing here. So real quick. Yeah, there seems to be okay, Guided by Echoes had posted on both platforms simultaneously, and he said there's a pretty similar comment delay. So maybe there's less of a video delay on Facebook, but it seems like the comments are kind of similar in time. That's cool.
And I really was only noticing, I think, like a 5-second difference
Okay.
before when I was looking, but I'm going to test it in a second.
That's not too bad. And at least, like, because...
Oh, no. I mean a 5-second difference between them, not a 5-second delay.
Right, yeah, 5-second
Facebook
difference.
was faster by 5 seconds.
Yeah, that's fine. I can live with 5 seconds. Because, I mean, it'd be kind of like unfair if there's like a really like busy live show to have like one platform just straight up outcompete the other because of like timing inconsistencies. So yeah, maybe if it does become a problem, we'll only do like the really big live show on YouTube
I think so.
and do like the smaller one on both, something like that. Okay, so I want to get to a couple questions here. How often can you frag pulsing Xenia? Okay, started 8 weeks ago, have 1 Xenia. Well, once Xenia gets going, it's very, very fast. But in some systems, it doesn't grow at all. So it's kind of dependent on whether or not it's taken hold and really starts taking off. Okay, just watched on both platforms. There was about a 6 to 7 second delay. Okay, good to know. Are you just a saltwater guy or do you do freshwater? Randomly found you on my suggested list. Well, welcome, Brandon. We don't do freshwater. It's purely saltwater and purely coral, at least for right now. And thank you so much, Bill Hyatt, for the super chat. So notice a big difference in the two platforms is there's like no like chat monetization that goes on in Facebook versus YouTube. So I definitely appreciate that, Bill. Have they showed up to finish the new building yet? No. And no one's coming over today either. Marine Tank Journey, South Africa here. Cool.
Sorry, Dan.
No, it's cool.
I'm going to mute myself from the conversation for a second so you don't have to hear this.
Nope, no worries. Oh. Bowie World. Fan, glad to have this hangout. Both look great, though. Cool.
Dan,
what's up?
Just say 3, 2, 1.
3, 2, 1, 0. Okay, so one guy says, Deacanthus Reef, my video delay is about 20 seconds in favor of Facebook. Yeah, and it's weird. It's like the delay is seemingly only built into the YouTube side of things. Very, very strange. Okay, I'm going to remove my little Piper label here. Because that's not Piper. Oops, did it? Nope. Here we go. Yeah, it's kind of interesting just to kind of play around with all the different settings here. All right, what's up?
All right, so Facebook has about a 23-second delay, 22 second, and YouTube has about a 28-second.
Total.
Delay, total, real time.
Okay.
So it's really only a 5 to 6 second discrepancy between the two platforms, like not enough to really give one an advantage.
I gotcha. So there is just straight up a broadcast delay, but it's not super duper problematic.
Nope.
Okay, cool. One thing that I am noticing, okay, and I'm sorry, like this is a lot of broadcasting talk and less like aquarium talk, but one big difference that I'm already noticing is that the number of dropped frames is a lot higher. So usually when I do just a live stream on YouTube for the entire 3-something hour show, I'll get like 3 dropped frames, less than 10, okay? Less than 10. I'm dropping 620 right now.
Oh,
Yeah, which is
well, here's
not.
the question. Have you ever done one just to Facebook?
I have not done one just to Facebook.
So at some point you should do a baseline and see if, because you so far when you stream to YouTube you get like essentially zero.
Right, right. I could play with that.
Just to
Um,
see if it's platform dependent or if it's really the aggregate of the two streams
oh,
coming
that's
across together.
interesting. Because here's the other thing that I heard. Okay, and this made me kind of like sour a little bit on the Facebook Live portion of things. I heard that like Facebook severely punishes other like APIs and stuff like that try to broadcast onto Facebook Live
Yeah,
in favor
probably
of
exactly because of what you're doing right now.
right. Like so theoretically, I should be just getting like messed up big time on the Facebook end of things because they said like the best way to stream to Facebook Live is with a phone, and I'm like I can't do that. I mean I could do that,
No,
but you're not gonna enjoy it. So using like a broad, what's that?
Dad needs a contact phone number because he's buying a ticket, emergency contact. So which number do you want to give?
Give the corporate number.
That's the Style Garden.
Yeah. Sorry, my parents are doing some traveling, so they need like emergency phone numbers and stuff. So let's see. Yeah, so we were talking about Facebook Live kind of nerfing engagement and stuff like that, and nerfing how smoothly things run as far as other broadcasting software publishing to the live platform. So yeah, like when I heard that, I'm like, Facebook, why do you do this? Like, why do you make me hate you, Facebook? Why do you do these things?
well,
Um,
I mean, it's a it's a direct competition with YouTube, and now that Instagram has Instagram Live,
yeah,
they're gonna do whatever they can to like backhandedly, prevent
right. But
the
it's not even
experience.
but it's not even like oh we don't want you to simultaneously broadcast to YouTube because they already don't want you to do that. But
Right?
they specifically want you to use a phone to broadcast. And it's like,
No,
no, I can't do that. No.
but that's again, I still think it's like part of the same thing, right? Because they're trying to move you. They're trying to move you since Instagram is all mobile.
Yeah, to
I
more
would think
phone-based
that.
stuff. Yeah, I could
Yep.
see that. I could definitely see that.
So I
So,
wonder how their platform, since I haven't done it, how it stacks up against YouTube's mobile streaming
yeah, it could be interesting.
specifically, and if they think they have an advantage there, whereas like so I mean we can already see they're limiting you to 720, so
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
it's already mobile-ish.
So real quick, I just want to hit some of these comments. Uh, will you be testing broadcasting the live feed from the cameras as well? I don't know if you're at the same location as the corals that got filmed. Okay, so the live show tomorrow, 5 p.m. Eastern. You know what, I'm gonna put that up as like a thing, but um, that will be done slightly differently because I wanted to try something else new with that too. So just so like Ben doesn't have to operate the camera and it's just 50 corals or so. I wanted to have all of that shot a day in advance, and I think it'll look nicer, and it'll be a little bit more polished looking. But once we do our big live show, we're going to be going with the live camera setup again. And it shouldn't matter because there really is no connection issue, knock on wood, between getting the video data off of the camera and onto this computer. And then at that point, it's just the broadcasting component. So that's not too big of a deal. Let's see. You have the worst contractors ever. That's not surprising. I don't doubt that one bit. There's so we're down to like a few contractors, and just luckily for me, a couple of the remaining ones I really like a lot, and so they're not too bad at all. I don't mind them sticking around, but some of the other ones I'm glad that they're kind of winding things up and getting out.
Yes. Finally found my laptop charger. I'm sure everybody is thrilled to find out.
Yeah.
So altogether, I think this is. I'd be happy with this. Are you happy with this?
I think it's pretty good. It's only 720p on Facebook. So that's another thing I'm gonna tweak is my output settings to Facebook to dumb it down to 720 because there's no point in sending 1080 to Facebook, only for them to rebroadcast that. Well, maybe I don't know. Maybe with their algorithm, their
good.
compression.
I'll tell you that.
Okay, I'll just continue sending.
I have it at full screen.
Okay.
It looks good.
Okay, that's important.
So I mean, it's stretched out 720, but and definitely if I put it at 720, like resize my window, it looks great.
Kristen on Facebook. I'm here because I saw Piper's name. Well, so Piper's, a gray cat sitting on a gray chair. She's there. You can see her.
Yes, she's in front of the.
Yeah, she's right
green
here.
Screen.
Piper. Oh, mew mew mew.
So let me see. Oh my. Yeah, this is nice.
Yeah, I was wondering if the camera would knock your bandwidth down even more. No, probably not, because it's not using the same bandwidth.
Local. Yeah.
Yeah, it's using like a direct cable right into the computer, more or less, into a capture card.
Yeah, and either way, even if it was local, like that can carry so much more. I mean,
right.
You only have, what do you have, 20 up right now?
I have 20 up, correct.
Yeah.
Okay, so I am Margella. I'm sorry, I did see your question earlier. What's the worst hitchhiker you've had to deal with? So, in the grand scheme of things, there's two types of pests that will give you headaches for your entire career as a reef hobbyist. One is a type of nudibranch, and there's a lot of different nudibranchs. And so I follow a lot of underwater photography, and these underwater photographers love to show off like pictures of nudibranchs that they see on the reef because they're pretty, they're colorful, all that stuff, right? And I'm like, I am so racist against nudibranchs, it's not even funny. I cannot appreciate the beauty of sea slugs because all they do is eat coral, seemingly. And that's probably an unfair statement, but that is kind of the experience as a coral farmer. You see nudibranchs, it's a problem. So there are different types of nudibranchs that are varying stages of difficult to deal with. Probably the most difficult to deal with are going to be the Montipora eating ones, the little white ones. So in that case, you really want to do a lot with peppermint shrimp as well as wrasses. And hopefully the wrasses don't eat the peppermint shrimp and focus more on eating those nudibranchs. The other thing are going to be some really exotic flatworms. Some are more or less just aesthetically unpleasing, so they'll just be hanging out on the glass and it just looks like a mess. But other ones eat corals. And some of those are fairly easy to take care of. You dip the coral, no big deal. Some of them are like, they don't care about your dip. Their eggs certainly don't care about your dip. And you pretty much have to do everything in your power to fight back that kind of infestation. And on a large scale, that might not be possible, and you might have to shut things down in that system for a long time.
Dan, quick question. Did you do anything on Facebook chat? I'm assuming not, that this is just coming from Facebook. I just got a thing that said, have friends who should see this video, share it with them so they can watch too.
Oh, cool. So yeah, if you guys have Yeah, if you guys have some Facebook buddies that you're like, hey, check this out. If you wanna come hype my stream on Facebook, feel free, please. So Ben,
All right, I'm gonna drop off.
okay, cool.
As I have to make a phone call to.
All right. Yeah,
Next.
thanks for stopping in, dude. Appreciate
Absolutely.
it. All right, bye.
Bye.
So that was Sigi. He runs a channel on YouTube called Tech Gear Talk, and so oftentimes when I do a lot of the more like techie type things, I'll bring him on and we'll work it out. We'll work through it. That said, pretty good. So Ben Clark is adding Zoa spiders. Zoa spiders can be a thing, but we haven't had to deal with it in quite some time, and it seems like the combination of dipping and wrasses really helps. So I'm less concerned about them. Anytime you bring in like a new, what do you call it? Like a new like wild zoanthic colony, you are really at risk of introducing the nudibranchs and the spiders, especially from places like Vietnam. It's just notorious for that sort of thing. So you kind of have to have like an active dipping protocol, but even then, you really want to have like an active predator pressure to keep those things really under control. So when Sagi was talking, were you guys able to hear him clearly? I figured that it was quieter, but I was wondering if anybody, if you could let me know in chat, either one, if you could hear him okay. So I am kind of curious about that. And in the meantime, I will put in like a quick little announcement up. Let's see, adding here. I'm going to add an overlay, new text overlay. Okay. And I'm going to say SPS live show at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard. Okay. And so tomorrow, hopefully, we will be able to broadcast again simultaneously on both things, on both platforms. Set this guy up here. Boom. Okay. He was very, very quiet. Okay, very cool. So that's fine if you could barely hear him, because I was experimenting with Skype as well. And, you know, because it would be cool to be able to bring on like guests and stuff like that just by Skype, so they don't have to physically be sitting where Piper is to even get in on the stream. And what we noticed was like, I could bring in the video stream just fine. And I could see the audio things moving, but I was like, is that coming from the actual Skype application, or is it just my microphone here, slightly off screen, picking up my computer speakers? And it turned out that it was just picking up the computer speakers. For whatever reason, the Skype audio was not making it into my software. So yeah, there's other types of like communications chat stuff that's built into Wirecast, but it had like horrific like reverb and echoing problems. Like Skype does a really good job of just isolating the voice. But this other thing, which is supposed to be the same thing that iChat uses, like the Apple stuff, but it was not ready for the big time. Okay, Jose Sands, tank swap help please. I don't want to harm corals. That's a deep question, because the best way to do it is to have your new tank already set up. So it's just a matter of moving all your substrate, rock, and animals directly over into a new aquarium that's been set up for a little while. If you have to break down a setup, move it, build it all right back up, it's terrible. I've done that exactly one time in my life, and it is nervous breakdown inducing. So all I can suggest there is to plan like pretty much an all-day endeavor to do that. It takes an insane amount of time, and it's an insane amount of work. So recruit as many people as you can to help. The person that helped me hasn't let me hear the end of it, as like it's been 20 years and he still brings it up. It's a lot of work. Okay, what would you recommend using? Pods? Okay, missed the context of that, Margella. You might want to adjust for some. You might have to make an adjustment in your software for that. Yeah, I think I did it correctly. I just think it might be bugged. It could. There's when it comes to broadcasting software, there's so many moving parts that any one of these things could go wrong and get fixed in an update and then broken in the next update. Okay. So real quick, I'm sorry for the Facebook crowd. I need to like pay more attention to you guys. I have to look back and forth at these things. Where did your seduction pallies come from? I don't remember where we got those. We've had them for so long that, yeah, I forget where we sourced many of these things from. Yeah, it's tough to keep track of it all sometimes. PJ Valentine on Facebook is asking, is that a tridacna in the background? It is. And people were asking before, like, do you sell clams? Because last time we checked your site, you don't. Right. I think it's because of the way that we do maintenance, but just how stuff moves, the types of dips that we use, eventually, bothers. It bothers the clams enough, and then over time they just kind of like, just don't do well. Yeah, guided by echoes. I've used OBS before. It was a nightmare. And so OBS is like a really good like free broadcasting software. It's pretty simple. There's a lot of like plugins for it, especially if you're into gaming. It's very good. Wirecast, it's more of a professional thing, but at the same time, because it's not like an open thing where everyone can develop on it, it doesn't progress as quickly. But usually when they roll out a feature, it's very solid because like the people that use Wirecast tend to be like actual broadcasts, less so like, live streamers like me. So it'll be like Harvard University or something wants to use it for their football games. That's that type of stuff. As far as other software that does like really good for certain things, like if I want to do a 4K broadcast, Wirecast can't even do it. So I would have to use another thing called vMix. And vMix is about as much as Wirecast Pro, which is like $1,000. It's not cheap. But they do 4K and they also do like live chat really, really well. So basically how, I was having this issue with talking to Sagi and bringing like his video and audio feed into Wirecast. All that stuff is ironed out in vMix. But since I'm so used to Wirecast and the guest component isn't quite as big of a thing on this show, so I'm probably just gonna stick with Wirecast Pro for a while. But yeah, I mean, we could also just wait and they'll figure these features out. Nelson on Facebook, what are your thoughts on dosing HP for green hair algae? I don't know what HP is. HP, guys, what's he talking about? For hair algae. As far as like my solutions for hair algae, it's mostly just physical removal, running probably some carbon and doing water changes. And if you do that consistently, that tends to take care of the problem. The bigger issue is that the fact that it got to the hair algae rampant stage, you've kind of like exceeded the buffering capacity of your aquarium, and that's when stuff really goes wrong. That's why I kind of recommend doing a lot of the more regular maintenance. It's because when things start to go downhill and get there in a hurry, it's really hard to dig yourself out of that hole. Hydrogen peroxide. Oh, gotcha. See, there you go. It's the YouTube crowd helping out on the Facebook end of the spectrum. Hydrogen peroxide probably would work too. Hydrogen peroxide plus a toothbrush might be a little bit better. I am curious a little bit as to how many people are watching live. 63. Okay, not bad. So I'm like looking at 63 people are watching on YouTube, and it looks like 11 are on Facebook, if I'm reading that correctly. Maybe. Hydrogen. Okay, so oh, I'm gonna mess up that name if I try to pronounce something German. Hydrogen peroxide won't work. It never works on an aquarium. I don't know if that's true. If it never works, because I've seen like an entire wholesale system that the guy dosed hydrogen peroxide, and it was pretty good. It was pretty good. We don't use it though, or we haven't used it in like a really long time. Let's see. Van, what would you recommend for a reactor? Biopellets or GFO? If I had to choose between the two, I would choose GFO. I'm not a huge fan of biopellets. That's just me there. Any of the carbon dosing stuff, of like the ultra low nutrient stuff, has never really played that well with my systems. Whenever I've messed with it, it kind of went a whole lot of nowhere or went someplace really bad. Yeah. And the thing is, like, we don't even use very much in the way of GFO. Like, for whatever reason, some of our systems are very high in phosphate, but it wasn't the end of the world, you know? We would have a little bit of maybe some cyano here and there, maybe a little bit of green hair algae, but it was nothing to write home about. And we were talking about astronomically high levels of phosphate. I mean, we're talking like 1 part per million phosphate, not 0.002 or whatever it's supposed to be. We're talking 1 part per million. Wasn't a big deal. Emerald crabs wreck green hair algae. Also, we have like fox faces, and in small quantities, they'll eat green hair algae. Any experience with kalkwasser? Yeah, it's really good. The only problem is that you have to administer calc really like judiciously and by the book. So sometimes, like when we get lazy, we'll just open up the valve to drip it in like too aggressively, and then we'll start like chemically burning all of our corals, because kalkwasser has like a very high pH, and you can do a lot of damage with it. If you do it correctly, you kind of have to like really refine your technique, but do it correctly every single time. It's very, very inexpensive and very good. Aptasia, real easy to take care of. In smaller tanks, peppermint shrimp do fine. In larger tanks where you have a lot of live rock and stuff to sustain the fish, like copper bands are very good. 70 people now. Nice. Yeah, this is a total unannounced live show. So the fact that anybody has come in to hang out and join us, that's very cool of you guys. So appreciate it. Nathan, is the new building done? No. Are the new tanks in? Double no. And hello, Laura. Welcome. Welcome to the Facebooks. Ravencaw, hello from the UK. Thanks for joining. Long-term success with Tridacna, you're asking the wrong guy there. We don't have long-term success. Maybe in the future we might have, and I've been saying that for years, but maybe in the future we'll have something that's more dedicated just for tridacna clams, and see about keeping them just kind of, by themselves doing their own thing. But no, we haven't done clams in a good long time. Let's see. Two little fishies. This is guided by Echoes on YouTube. Has a liquid phosphate remover. It's supposed to do well for dropping higher levels of phosphate. Yeah, but again, it's like I don't really chase numbers so much as I try to chase consistency. That's like the biggest problem with my greenhouse setup is that consistency has been very, very difficult to achieve. There's just the changing in seasons, the fact that it's an open structure, like a lot of stuff makes its way into the aquariums in the spring and fall, especially with pollen, random bugs, like, and as in like not like pest bugs. I'm talking like bumblebees and moths make their way into the tank, and so that's gonna like mess up your nutrient levels. Yeah, especially since in the summertime evenings where there's like blue light or something like that, all these bugs get attracted to it and just like fall into the water. Stuff that most home aquariums don't have to deal with. So yeah, consistency can be a hard thing to chase after there. Now, in the new building, I expect to have a lot more consistency, and so it'll be even less of an issue. How do you like zeolite reactors? I've never used one. Never used one. And I think that the vast majority of people don't mess with it too much either. And yeah, and Piper's in, yeah, Piper's in the guest chair. It's so obviously I love cats, but I love how cats always want to be like a part of like the social activities going on. So Piper just camps out here and just like sleeps. Eventually, the other cat will want some attention and bully her right off of this chair. They fight like all the time. Fish Tank University, how do you deal with brown jelly disease? Lost a nice hammer to it last week. Brown jelly disease is like the Ebola of euphyllia. Like when it happens fast, and usually people are unable to save the thing in time. It really sucks. If I was to do anything proactive, you could try dipping it in iodine and running ultraviolet. But that's like pure speculation, and yeah, not a lot of people have success bringing something back from brown jelly. It's rough. Than, how about a show tank? Any plans for the new building? So the show tank, yeah, we're going to be having two show tanks. Both of them are going to be 700 gallons. I'm looking forward to it. One is going to be more of a mixed reef, and the other one I'm planning to be SPS dominant. Can I ask why frog spawn would be retracted when the other euphyllia are fine and levels haven't changed? Anytime that like a single coral is bothered when all the other corals seemingly are not, I always think something might be directly bothering it. So is something like actually eating it? Joel Alstrom on Facebook. What does it mean when an acropora is showing long white strips from the tips of their branches? For us, whenever I see that, it's typically a feeding behavior. So if we're feeding something like very, very like small and fatty, like what's it called, rotifers, or any kind of like cyclopes, things like that, the acropora especially get these like mucus stringers, and they'll collect all that stuff up in the water, and then they'll slowly drag that into their small little mouths. Hopefully that's what it is, because that is a good thing and not something worse. Let's see. Vladimir, kudos, Stan. Biggest fan of your work from Sofia, Bulgaria. Thank you very much. I was just talking to someone earlier today that I need to make a trip to Europe and just like see all the sites. It's been so long since I've been there, and I like to travel so much. I just haven't gotten to that entire continent in forever. I've been to Asia, no joke, like 5 years in a row. Not 5 years in a row. It's like maybe like 5 times in 6 years or something like that, like recently. But we haven't been back to Europe, so I'm gonna pitch that to my friends, see if like we can get a trip going and just like do the rounds and do like meet and greets in every country we go to. Are you having any live sales soon? I'm having one tomorrow. Like, can you guys like read that over there? We're having the reason why we're doing this, like just testing things out, period, is I wanted to see if I could broadcast simultaneously to YouTube and Facebook, because I kind of wanted to try to throw a little wrinkle into how we did live sales, because I wanted to see if I could shoot it one day in advance, because I could shoot it better and it'll be like a cooler display, things like that. So I just wanted to try something different, but not necessarily go all out for our main live show. The main live show will be like later on towards the end of the month. It'll be like the Halloween special. Somebody was asking a Halloween question. I still need to get a Halloween costume. So if you guys have any thoughts on that, throw that in chat, because I'm like drawing a blank as to what I should be. And nothing that covers up my face, because I have to do so much talking. Because like, yeah, no like masks or anything like that. I can't do a mask. But some non-mask Halloween costume that will actually show up on stream. So like, like chest, height, and up. Because if it's like a big robe thing, it kind of defeats the point, because it's kind of, like below the waist, you're not going to see it. Okay, Beetlejuice. Indonesian coral export ban is lifted recently. It's supposed to be. It's supposed to be. It looks like whatever crony bribes needed to happen happened. We'll see, because it's supposedly, I heard that it might be a different implementation. We'll see how it eventually looks like. I'm not really involved in the import side of things. So Laura, that's here on the Facebook chat, she does do importing, and so I'll definitely be bothering her for her input on how that looks. But yeah, it's tough to say what meaningful changes the lifting of the ban will do. So you don't want to be Aquaman again. It was okay. And by the way, makeup sucks. Like, I don't know how girls do that where they put like the makeup on their entire face, like a total mask. Because I just had it on my eyes and stuff, around my eyes. No, it feels terrible, guys. Terrible. So yeah, I would prefer to not have to wear makeup. Okay, hold on. I'll be right back. I need to turn off my vacuum cleaner. Okay, and I'm back. I got those Roombas, so they'll turn on during my broadcast, apparently. So Joel, not fast, not off, just random strings from different colonies. Some say it's feeding. Yeah, I think it's feeding. Some say it's stress. I don't know if it's stress. I guess it could be, like maybe if he did a water change or something like that. The Acroport typically don't have sweepers or anything like that, so it probably isn't aggression necessarily. Oh, kitty. So if you missed it, Piper is like one of my two cats. She is very mean and does not like anybody but me. That's why I love her so much. Stress fract. Have you noticed a difference in survival rates from frags from mariculture corals versus wild caught. So technically mariculture is wild. Like it is, mariculture is grown in the ocean. Do I notice a big difference there? Not so much. I think the nice thing about it is I guess it's more consistent, I guess, as far as like what species are coming in. Now, if you're talking about like aquacultured versus maricultured, I think there's no question that aquacultured is super, super, super durable in comparison. Hey, what's up, too, please? Welcome. No mask, no makeup. Yeah, I can be Asian John Wick. Yeah, so, yeah, it's, I guess, I could bite the bullet and do something with makeup, but I'd rather not. It's really no fun to do makeup. Like something maybe I could just wear a hat. So Rico has nicknamed me like Dr. No because he comes up with all these ideas, and my answer to like all of them is always no. Like I always just say no right off the bat. And so we were thinking like, well, why don't you be like Dr. No from like James Bond? But nobody knows what this character from like the 1960s looks like. Like when was the last time you watched, Sean Connery era 007? Like nobody, right? Like I was like, I don't even know if I was born when Dr. No came out. That's how old that is. So like nobody's gonna know even like, oh, who's he supposed to be? I'm Dr. No. Who's Dr. No? And people wouldn't get it. So we're not doing that. What do you guys do when you see signs of RTN or STN? I think there's really only one thing you can do. You can propagate the coral and hopefully some pieces survive. I don't think anybody really stops RTN or STN from killing anything. Okay, Joseph Gallagher. Coral retraction at night. Is that normal? For some, yeah. I mean, some corals retract at night. Other corals expand at night. And the other thing is you can train coral. Like coral, they're not completely stupid. If you are feeding at a certain time every single day, they'll figure that out. Even like corals that are typically nocturnal. So let's say like a tabastria, right? A sun coral. Like they are typically out all the hours of night. And Justin C. Looks like Facebook chat is dead. It looks like 10 people are live on the Facebook side of things versus like close to 70 on the YouTube side of things. So I can kind of understand. Now, here's the thing, and we talked about this earlier in the stream, but I have a feeling that the Facebook algorithm heavily punishes Facebook live feeds that are not done from a phone. There's a lot of discussion about that. If you use like a professional broadcasting software to go live on Facebook, the algorithm already hates you. So it's entirely possible that so guys, there are 10,000 people that follow the Tidal Gardens Facebook page, okay? I bet there's less than 100 that actually even got any notification that live show on the Facebook end of things is even happening. So part of this was just kind of like, let's see what happens on the Facebook side. But yeah, Justin, it's noticeable how but also I guess like the YouTube crowd, that there is a crowd at all for YouTube. They're used to seeing live shows. They kind of know the deal. It's less so on the Facebook end of things. But I wanted to put it out there just for the people that do watch like the Facebook side of stuff. And because I can't assume that everybody on Facebook follows on YouTube and vice versa. Yeah, Joseph Gallagher. Right. So YouTube is ahead. I'm sorry. Facebook is ahead of YouTube by a few seconds. Yeah, I noticed that. Yeah, like YouTube, I'm sorry, like, well, I guess both now, but Facebook is um, a lot more selective on what they show people as far as like that algorithm goes. Electricity cost per month for the greenhouse. It depends. Like, it just depends on how much stuff you plug in, right? So when we first started out, we only had about like 6 things plugged in. Now we have like hundreds of things plugged in. So you can imagine costs tend to go up. The worst I've ever heard of somebody doing like an electric bill for a greenhouse was like $2,000 or something a month. It was a lot. We're not that bad. Actually, I don't like most of my electricity bill is probably coming from my house, like just the air conditioning for my house. Wear an old Star Trek uniform. Go as Captain Kirk or Sulu. That's funny. Is it all your acros or specific to individuals? Oh, sorry. That's somebody else's conversation. Just checked Facebook personal feed and the page feed, nothing being presented for your live feed. That is interesting. And not surprising, but it is interesting. Are you attending Rifa Palooza? I don't have any plans to, Margella, but Rico's trying to drag me out to a lot of those things. I'm thinking about making more of a public presence that way, but that's only once things settle down here, because I haven't been able to do a lot of traveling in general because of all the construction stuff, all of that stuff that needs to get managed on this end of on this end of things. But once that does kind of like get off my plate, um, I might be open to traveling a little bit more. But generally speaking, I don't attend shows. Okay, so Mahir, I'm sorry if I mispronounced your name. Mahir owner, notified by Facebook here. Okay, cool. Very cool. I should be throwing likes on all these guys. Give all, get see if this will boost my, what do you call it? My engagement figures. So there you go. Like I just saw like the what is like the last 4 comments. Y'all got likes. But yeah, interesting. So I am glad that you guys were able to participate. Just hang out for a little bit. Um, talk through any kind of like technical things that I needed to see all about. Hopefully, you guys can join us tomorrow for like the SPS show. I want to see so if that goes well and you guys like it, I might make that a weekly thing. So I'll rotate from like SPS to LPS to soft corals and polyps, and then at the end of the month do like the big live show. So the a big reason why I'm thinking about going with like a smaller weekly show that's kind of more topical in the sense that we're focusing on a specific kind of, or subset of coral, is that a lot of times people for the big live show, since it's like a 3-hour show in many cases, they're really only looking for a certain kind of coral, and they don't know when to expect, let's say, the Montipora to start showing up, and so they kind of like give up if we're still talking about zoanthids for an hour. So again, it's kind of just to break things up just a little bit. Maybe like those folks can participate a little bit more on a live show that's more dedicated to what they're interested in. That's kind of like my idea there. Okay, Eddie's Reef Aquaria. I have a question when it comes to YouTube. Before, when I would upload a video, it would be showing up on recent videos. Now, for a while, it doesn't do any. Do you have any idea? So, okay, so YouTube changes a lot. Before, like 5 years ago, it it's a lot more subscriber focused, but they're doing away with kind of the weight of subscribers. So sometimes when people like, they boast about their subscriber count, it's nice, but it's not what it used to be. I've got a little over 50,000 subscribers. Only a very, very small subset of those people are getting notifications of my videos. That's just kind of how that algorithm works. Because, if you are subscribed to a channel, but you don't actively go back and watch it and watch it and watch that channel, YouTube treats that as you're not really subscribed. And then they kind of like made this notification bell to get notified for sure. And that was a thing for a while. And now they're even doing away with that. So they're leaning more and more and more on their suggested algorithm. And for better or worse, sometimes worse, it is rewarding a certain kind of content and kind of pushing off to the side another kind of content. The Facebook stream has more likes than YouTube. Now that's hilarious. So what is up with like the YouTube side of things? Because there's way more people watching or have watched. So yeah, pick up the likes, fellas. And so like engagement stuff like that, so sometimes helps with the algorithm. But yeah, like you can try to reverse engineer these algorithms all you like, but when it comes to when push comes to shove, what really works on YouTube to grow your channel, it's to basically produce daily video content, preferably 2 or 3 times a day. It's not a healthy existence, but like people try to overthink things. Really, that is what YouTube is currently promoting. Yeah, so Blue Jillo, you have to click that bell icon. Before, that bell icon would be you will get a notification. Now it's more like you will sometimes get a notification. So that's not even 100% anymore. Joel's asking, Than, have you ever seen a PokerStar Monty with red-yellow polyps on the edge? Or should they be all green? Yes. I think so. So I think, what do they call that? There's a different name for that. It's a different kind of rainbow. But it's basically, when it gets imported in, it's basically like a purple and green PokerStar. But then, when it starts to grow, it grows out as a rainbow. Just like a rainbow Monty. And it doesn't really share that purple and green look as it did before. Yeah, I forget exactly what name that is. We used to have it. We still might, but I haven't seen it in a while. But yeah, that is its own thing. So it's not really a PokerStar. It's not really a rainbow. It's kind of, well, in between. So views all over seem to be the way YouTube wants to push things. It's frequency of you making videos. And so that's why like maybe your favoritist YouTube channel might be dropping in quality. It's because there was a time when quality videos really were the things that could survive. And lately the trend, especially after like 2016, it's really gotten pushed towards like frequency and volume of videos. And especially now, it's like, that's why you see so many daily vloggers, and that's why you see so many reaction channels. It's like those things are so easy to quickly produce and then move on to the next thing. You just have to like record yourself for a little bit, be like, oh my god, and then next video, it's like, oh, blah blah blah, oh, that was dope, like, comment, subscribe, move on. That's all you have to do for a reaction channel. And for daily vlogs, just like walk around, talk a little bit, do like some little montage of B-roll to some quirky music, the quirky YouTube music, and boom, there you have a video. So like other things can't be produced that quickly. And so as a result, the people that used to produce like a lot of the more scripted content, they're kind of going more towards like a vlog slice of life thing, or worst case scenario, some kind of reaction thing. YouTube optimization stuff, guys. That quantity over quality life. Yeah, it sucks too. Yeah. Oh, so Sagi is asking if I'm still on. I am. Yup, for a while longer. Okay, let's see. Before I would upload, before I would upload one every 2 weeks and upload every week and do not show up on recent videos. Yeah, it is its own thing. All right, guys, I'm actually gonna cut this short. Give me a sec. So since Sagi was so kind to help me out, he needs a sound check on Instagram. So I'm gonna go and hang out with him on his Instagram live for just a minute. So again, thank you guys so much for joining, hanging out. Thanks again for all your participation. Thanks Bill Hyatt for the $1 super chat. Thanks for being a bro on my test session, no less. Appreciate that. And I hope to see you guys all tomorrow at 5 to go over some SPS for about an hour. All right, take care. I am out of here.